Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to this channel. My name is Stacy here at Stacy Makes, and if you are new here, we do cozy crochet stuff here. I am a mom to 5 older children. I'm getting ready to be a grandma for the first time, and this is my side hustle. I mean my side hobby, my side joy, whatever you want to call it, my side therapy. I work full-time on top of this, and what you're going to see in this video is a market that we just went to, I've been to for a long time. And you're going to see that my daughter Tara is with me. And if you are also new here, Tara is Old Soul Factory here on YouTube and Old Soul Factory Crochet on Instagram. She does some patterns, and she's been really getting into a lot of safety eye creation and stuff, so you can go check her out as well. So today we're going to talk about this market, what I made leading up to the market, my thoughts on the market itself, how much I made, and all that fun stuff. I'll break down some highlights. I'm not going to give you every single sale one by one, but I'm going to give you a little overview, some highlights and thoughts, and then we'll talk about a pattern test that I did, and maybe a little bit of my plans through the holiday for my videos. So let's get right into my market footage and enjoy that, and I will meet you back here in just a little bit. See ya! It's market day! Okay, car is packed. Tara just went back inside to get her Stanley because we're going to be gone all day plus all evening because we're going straight to a wedding today. So welcome or welcome back to this channel. My name is Stacy here at Stacy Makes, and I'm going to show you this market I'm on my way to in Newburgh, Indiana at the Castle High School. It's a band fundraiser for them, and I've been to this show for a decade. It's been a very long time. My daughter is almost 18, and I went before she was born. So I mean, I missed a few years in there between doing sewing and crocheting, but otherwise I have been to this show for a very long time. So a good show. It's juried. It's supposed to be all handmade stuff. They do let in a lot of crocheters though. There's 5 to 7 maybe of them. So it does have a lot of crochet plushie vendors. Last year I think there was 5 or 6 of us. So that's the only real downside, but it is huge. People line up usually outside to get in. They pay to get in. It's 9 to 3, and I brought kind of a reduced setup. My booth is like an 8 by 10, I believe. Welcome, Tara.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I brought just a little bit of a reduced setup. Don't have quite as much stuff as we did at the last show, because the last show we sold a lot of stuff. So anyway, we are in the car and going to be on our way, and it's just about an hour drive. So we will hopefully try to show you what we can when we get there. So see y'all.
bring an animal. I need to give something to these. I got something for the others last year.
Oh,
For their Christmas, I got something for these. Well, she's only 9 months.
Oh, that's adorable though.
Great.
It's just 12 even if that's the only thing.
Yep.
You want to do cash or card?
I have them broken down. Okay, that's a new color. It's a noodle.
It's a poisonous snake.
I did see black in there.
Do you need a bag for that?
Yep, we got one.
Okay, perfect. It's gonna be 26. Do you want to do cash or card? Cash.
Need a bag for it?
No, I've never seen it.
It was 26, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay, 24 is your change.
She makes them do that.
We both do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. There's too many things to make and not enough time. So.
These beaters are cute.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Scrap yarn. Thank you. When I run out, I run out.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
I'm gonna do that on this one because I didn't want to get the color out of the change.
These are pretty. Did you do those?
Yeah. These are the bell-bottom ones in the Groovy Glow collection.
Pretty.
I was like, they have to go in a cat. Like, I made an extra pair specifically to put them on a low cat. I also have the orange pair. Oh, these ones aren't mine. These are cute.
These are like ADHD hobbyists.
Yeah.
There's that $5 rack makes them got little $5 minis over there.
She only has $5.
Oh no!
Everybody has everything more than $5.
Yep.
Well, there's a little $5 rack over there.
Here, let's go around.
Hi. Need this unicorn? Is it 20? Okay, you want the tag off of it? No, I'm fine. Let me take the safety pin out. Probably a good idea. Do you want an adoption certificate? You can fill that out. Give it a name, and so right here you pick out whatever color you want, okay? 20.
I was gonna say, I thought I had 20 on.
You get one? You want a bag? Yes? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Give it to her. Press it. Give it to her.
Hi, are you ready? Okay, let me see his tag real quick, baby. 16, okay? 16. What is it? The pink nose. You need a bag? You want an adoption certificate? You can fill out and name it. So right here, you pick out whatever color you want. Sorry, get my money.
We've had a lot of people come back from last year, it seems like, especially the band kids. Band kids love us. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, I've been doing important stuff over here, like looking at the lunch menu. There's a macaroni over there. Good options to I have also been bagging things and writing everything down. Okay, so I am helping. Okay, I'm helping.
I'm over here trying to crochet a cat.
Yeah, meanwhile she's actually working, but it's okay. But it's 10:30, hour and a half in, and doing pretty good so far. We were set up down at the end, at the very end of this row, all the way in the back behind me. I don't know if you can see it. There was another crochet booth though set up down here, so we asked if we could just switch spots with somebody else. So we moved 2 spots down from where we usually are because they put a brand new crochet booth right next to us, which was kind of funny, but hey, it worked out for us. So.
Hi, can I just get this piece? Yes. Sorry. Do you have to use the card? Yes, I can. Yep. Oh, Wendy, look. You can tap her insert right here.
Little jelly cat.
You're good to go. Thank you so much.
Is that 20?
It's 18. Somewhere is my little Ziploc bag that has my price tags in it. Mission Fried by Friend.
I'm on it. And then it's probably in this bag back here, if I had to guess.
A little blue. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so good. Sign me up for a scavenger
Got a
hunt.
kitten. Tag. You want to put him out for me? Let's see how long he lasts. What time is it? 10:32. I was playing. I didn't know if I was going to have enough yarn.
I told you you were.
I know you did. I had to
Like,
see
she
it to
doesn't
believe
believe
it,
me.
though.
She doesn't believe me.
Well, it's not very much. It's probably not even enough to make a mini octo.
No, it's enough to make stripes or ears or something on the next one, though.
Yep.
That's what I've been doing.
Thank you. Hi. How are you guys?
Sold the mini loaf cat that she just made. Less than an hour.
Did you say blue loaf cat?
I said she sold the mini loaf cat she just made. Less than an hour later.
Did you get it wrote down, the snake
Yes, I did.
and the loaf cat? Nope.
I'm trying to decide.
It's 14.
Dude, you just started. I was like, time check. 11:35. Is that what it says? I can't read backwards.
11:35.
Yes.
11:35.
Let's see how
Go on
long
the
this
shelf.
one takes.
Hi. Hello.
Yep.
It's 26. You need a bag for it?
No.
Okay. Yep, you need to cash your card. Okay, it's ready. Whoa, hold on. It's saying it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. You picked it out? You can take it out. Is it for somebody you know? Yeah? Oh, that's so sweet. Are you going to give it to him for Christmas? Today? Thank you. So cute. Pick that up for my bubby. Got it.
My mom, she put it on hold.
It was this pig right here. We have other pigs though, if you wanted to look. But yes, there was right there on the bottom, that one, and then up there that corally one are also pigs.
Up here. You can decide.
There's also one of these with a pink nose over there too. But this is the one she put back, but you can do whatever you want.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my girlfriend likes all types of pinks. I think I'll go with.
The bright pink one.
Okay.
I'll go with this.
Okay, these are 16 and this one's 15, but
I'll get this one.
that's this one? Okay.
Yeah.
You can do cash or card.
Card.
Okay. You can tap it or insert whenever you're ready. Do you need a bag?
Yes, please.
Does it need to be where she can't see through it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we got secret bags.
Very helpful.
Alrighty, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. That one.
All right.
It's 10 even. You need to do cash or card.
I do card. I mean cash.
Okay.
I don't do card. Crap.
Do you need a bag for it?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah. It's clear, but I have a small one. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
I didn't know if she was here then.
No, she's not here.
Okay.
Crap. I only have a. Do you have a 10?
Yes, absolutely. There you go.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're on a nice list.
Thanks. Thank you.
He wants this one.
Hi, buddy. Okay, can I see the tag real quick? It's 28 in cash.
Yeah,
Okay. You need a bag for it?
probably. Yeah, so that you can he get a free?
Yes. Yeah, I was just going to say, if you want an adoption certificate, you just pick one out and you can fill it out at home. Here's your
welcome,
bag.
Beckham. See, you can carry it. No, not purple. I don't agree. Not a purple color.
Maybe
Here,
green.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Man, that was a mean face.
Only weirdos eat ketchup on their chicken sandwiches. Weirdo. Birthed by weirdos.
Takes a weirdo to know one, so.
It is 2:04. We are at our last hour, so it's very much slowed down. It's very quiet in here compared to earlier today. Hasn't been a bad day. I would say I've done probably about the same as last year, maybe a little under last year. I went back and looked at my old YouTube video and I did $1,077 here last year. And I've added up part of the sheets. So,
So you cheated.
well, we're not going out to dinner like we usually are because we're going straight to my nephew's wedding from here. So while she was gone and there was nobody here, I went ahead and did the 2 full pages and added them up. So I kind of have an idea of what they total, but I just didn't want to do the last page until it was really over. So anyway, we'll see when it's over. But for not having as much inventory as I usually have, it's not too bad.
Attention shoppers, all of our baked goods
It's fine.
at the bake sale at the front of the school are now half price. Hurry to the front.
Hurry to the front.
Look at her. She's sorting.
I gotta be doing
Got bored.
We have 30 minutes.
I know, the end of the market.
Come to my house sometime and do this, but I'm like, we could do it while we're sitting right here. Most a lot of it.
We could. Look at how empty the shelves look though. Crazy.
So I failed at getting an after video before we started taking a few things down. So I'm gonna try to show you what I can really quick. This is all that is left on the $10 rack. This is the fancy pants that I have left. So most of the big stuff is left. You can hear Tara talking in the background, also very frantically doing our after videos. This is all that's left of our $5 stuff. Shuffle, shuffle. Tara's bucket hat stuff. All of our keychains, sorry I took them down already. And that's all that's left of the loaf stuff. And that's it, guys. Like, that's a wrap. We're getting ready to pack all this up and try to get it all in my car and head to a wedding. So I will give you guys a recap as soon as I am home tomorrow and up, and I will see you then. Bye. Okay. I'm not sure how much of it I probably spliced in there. It may have been all of it. It probably was all of it. I walked around a little bit. Sorry I didn't get to every single hallway, but it's a pretty big show with lots of hallways, and there's a map so that you try not to miss anything. But it keeps growing, I feel like, every year. With that, I feel like every year they allow in a little bit more of every category, but I also get that it's a fundraiser for the band, and they have a huge band. Like, their band played in the Rose Parade last year. So it's a very big thing for the school. And so they don't want to, you know, they're trying to get the most spots they can and get the most people in that they can. They do jury it in some regard, and it all has to be handmade. So they do make sure that it is handmade goods, it is juried, and they do supposedly cap how many of each category, but I don't know what that cap is. There was probably at least 5 or 6 plushie makers there, which my preference would be 2 to 3, very well spread out. But that's not exactly the way it happened. There's probably a little less detail because there's so much to do, and there's just volunteers that are doing it. I think they do a great job for how big of an event this is. And I'm sure that they are not being paid. They're donating their time to coordinate this market. And it's a huge undertaking if you've never done it before. And if you haven't ever been a craft market participant, a vendor, you probably aren't aware of all the little things to look for, which is, you know, trying not to put all the same people next to each other and things like that. So, but anyway, you like my cup? It's really cute, isn't it? There's a lot of Dolly Parton merch for some reason coming to the Dollar General store. And so every once in a while I find something that doesn't say Parton on it, and it just says Dolly. And this is my second coffee mug, which is my dog, if you're not aware. Which there'll be some little dash of Dolly here at the end of this. I'm going to put my coffee down just a second. Highlights of this market. Did not go into this market with as much inventory as I probably did last year. I did not look back at my video last year, but as far as how much inventory I took, but I did land a little bit short of my numbers from last year. I know that Tara did not have near as much inventory going into this market as she usually does. The Hobnob market, which was our largest market we have ever done, was a month ago, and it wiped us out of a lot of stuff. We both left with about $1,000 in inventory and miscellaneous, just random stuff. And that probably included some seasonal things that we didn't take to this because they're seasonal. And it only allowed us 4 weeks. And she had big plans to do a safety eye launch, and she had a bunch of eyes she had bought and stuff. So she dedicated a lot more time to that than crocheting, which is great. She'll have her own video too, out probably this week to do her recap of her stuff. But what you will hear about here is only my totals from this market. This booth fee was $70, and it is an 8 by 10 space. And if you saw our little debacle at the beginning, we did get put right next to another plushie crochet vendor, like right next to them. We were in our normal spot. They were new. They were slid in when somebody canceled, I believe. So they were waitlisted and then brought in, which when they're trying to fill spots, I think they're a little less picky about what they're bringing and just trying to fill the spots so that people, and maybe not, maybe they weren't new, but that was kind of maybe my understanding, was that they were temporary. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was just their first year or if that means that they were waitlisted and slid in, but anyway, they were right next to us. So we went to the office and talked to them, and they moved us, slid us down a couple spots, and which means, you know, we weren't exactly where we were last year, but right next to where we were last year was another crochet plushie vendor. But the band kids found us. There was several of them watching us unpack everything while we were trying to unpack. And our setup took a little bit longer because we did have to talk to the office, and we did have to get our spot moved. And the band kids, for some reason, were not working our exit very well this year. So we ended up carrying in everything on our own. I did not bring my wagon because normally there is 10 band kids at our exit waiting to help you carry things in. And they were around, like we saw them inside, and they were helpful, and they still came around and asked us if we needed things and stuff like that. But when it was time to load in, like they just weren't out the door exit that we usually come in. And so I didn't bring my wagon to haul things in, so it took us several trips. Plus we had to move our booth. And then we had kids that were literally in and out of our booth some while we were trying to set it up, which created a little bit of havoc trying to get it all done. So I did take a little bit of time and I walked around, but very little, and I did not catch every hallway. What you guys saw was maybe a half, probably about a half. There was a whole section of hallways down one side and a whole section on another side that I did not even get to. Booth fee is $70 for this event. For this 8x10 space, which if you saw it was open on both sides. I only took 3 of our metal shelves, our tall ones. I took a short one and I took 2 4-foot tables. We did rearrange them a little here and there. You saw the before video and the after video. You might have noticed that we moved a few things around, and then we ended up emptying a shelf and putting it down with some bucket hats because we were selling things. But overall, it was still a very good market for what we brought. So let's get into some of the highlights. I sold a total of 70 items. I sold 10 keychains, which I sold a lot more at Hobnob. Obviously, that was a much bigger market, but I sold 10 keychains. I sold 9 $5 items, which is not bad. I spent a little bit of time making mini octos and making a few stingrays because I was pretty low on it. But I did sell 9 of those. If I keep looking over here, sorry, my notes are over there so I don't forget my numbers. I sold 15 $10 items. So we decided that this show I didn't have enough stuff to really like have a dedicated $5, $8, and $10 space. And really there's not a ton of difference between the effort the $8 stuff takes as the $10 stuff took for me. And so I just decided to try out this show just having a 5 and a 10. And that worked pretty well, really. There was just a few things in the 8 that we took down to the 5, and then most of the $8 stuff went up to the 10. So we had the whole small metal rack was all $10 stuff. But I sold 15 $10 items, which was great. 3 spiders, 3 snakes, 3 baby turtles, and then a bunch of miscellaneous stuff off of that shelf. Was not bad for the $10 shelf. That's just the stuff that I sold, not the stuff that Tara sold. That was pretty good. I wish I would have had more stuff on that shelf. A lot of kids came by and they had just $5 or just $10 to spend, and so you could direct them to the different shelf. We did separate them again, which has worked out fabulously, because when we used to have $5 items on a shelf and $10, $8 items and $10 items all together on the shelf, the kids would pick them up and not know which one they came from, and then they'd pick something up somebody put back in the $5 bin, but it was really a $10 item, so they'd come to check out, and we felt bad. And so we're like, we just need to separate these more. And we made more of them at the last 2 shows. That worked out great, and we had the $10 items really over by us, and then the $5 items were over in the corner. And so when we could hear people were like, these are all 10, this whole shelf is 10, but there is a $5 shelf over there. And then there's also a keychain rack over here that's got $6 to $8 keychains, you know, if that's your price range. And that worked out really great. On top of selling a lot of small stuff, which is probably what helped me this year for sure, Tara had a lot more large items left from the last show. Specialty things like her Harry Potter anime dolls, her Minecraft cows, her huge dragon, pink toothless dragon snuggler. So, and I had lots of big things too. I mean, my showpieces obviously didn't sell. They were there just for show and filling in the booth, which was great. But yeah, that probably hurt her because she didn't have near as many of the tiny things. When she did crochet and have time, she was just crocheting the stuff that was bringing her joy, which was not the little bitty market prepping stuff this time. But she did make some big loaf cats that sold, which is great. Okay, so highlights of outside of the small stuff. I had a bunch of the Cozy Buckeyes loaves that I had to remake because I sold like every single one of them, I think, at the last show, except for maybe a pig or 2. But I remade a few, plus I pattern tested her pug last week. So if you haven't got that yet, we'll talk about that later. And then I just pattern tested her new pattern, which is her deer. And, well, the pug came out 2 weeks ago and the deer came out this last week. I'll show you some better pictures of that stuff later. But I sold both my deer that I took. I sold 1 pig, 1 pug, and 1 of her cats. So I sold a total of 5 of April's little loaf animals. which was pretty good. Fancy pants. So my fancy pants collection, if you're not aware, is a bunch of different animals. They're not no-sew. You do have to sew the heads onto the bodies always, and then every once in a while, like the unicorn has an extra horn. Took all of the fancy pants except for my brand new ones that are being tested right now, and I sold my Patsy the cow that had a dress. I sold my hippo that had, it was plain solid but had a bow. I sold both of my gators. I had a gator that had I think they both had overalls, but they were different colors. There was a light gator and a darker gator. I think they both had overalls on though. And then I sold my bear that had the overalls. So I sold a total of 5 fancy pants, and I priced them anywhere from $24 to $28, depending on what kind of accessories that they have on. I think the overall ones pretty much land around 26, the dresses around 28. Sometimes the solid ones with just a bandana will land around 25. Kind of give you an idea of what I price those at. They take me just around an hour to make one. So I sold 5 total fancy pants animals. As far as big items, the biggest item I sold at this show was $40. Not really super surprising, but usually towards Christmas, the bigger items get a little bit more of attention because they end up being a Christmas present, a special something for somebody who has everything or whatever. You hear that a lot at the show. But this time, the largest item was a $40 item, which was my cheeseburger turtle, which I just made last week. It's Happy Turtle Crochet's pattern, where the shell looks like a cheeseburger, and it's so cute. A girl came and took a picture of it and couldn't get her mom to buy it for her, so she sent the picture to her grandma, and her grandma shows up at my booth a couple hours later and is like, I get this picture from my granddaughter, and she couldn't convince her mom to buy it for her, so she's like, she wants this for Christmas, so she's like, here I am buying a $40 cheeseburger crochet turtle. But anyway, it was cute. I sold my monkey, my snuggler monkey, that is from Mom Stitchetti. That I pattern tested this monkey, and I made it look like Boots. I made it with Elise Veludo, and I used the colors that made it look like Boots the monkey off Dora. And I've had it, I mean, since I pattern tested it probably this summer, and I sold it for $35. I sold 1 splooter, which I was kind of surprised. I had 4, I believe. And I sold 1, which was Dippy the Dino, which is the one I actually, besides the pig, I had the pig and the dino left from the last show. And then I made a new deer and I made a new mouse, which I'd never made before, which was, I'll show you in the stuff that I made this week. But I sold the Dippy the Dino, which the lady had a great question when she came up to buy it. And I don't know if I got that interaction on camera or not, but she was like, so why are some of them like so much more than others or much cheaper than others? And, you know, which Tara caught her question and was like, well, I mean, a lot of that depends on how much time it takes, how many pieces there are, how much the yarn. Some of the yarns are more expensive than others. Some of them have hand painted, really fancy safety eyes. And, you know, some of them take 30 minutes and some of them take 3 hours, you know, and she's like, oh, that makes sense, you know, and I'm like, so it's all based on all of those things so that we get a fair wage for our time, which I think is really important. Plus we get our material costs back. Especially important, I feel like, if there are people out there that are doing shows and doing this to try to pay their bills. You know, like when I used to do shows to pay bills, when I stayed at home with my kids, I did shows that wasn't crochet. But these shows I did in the fall paid for Christmas and paid for a set of tires or paid for our medical bills that we had that were racked up because we were living paycheck to paycheck. And I just think that, it, you know, keeping your prices at something that makes you a fair living wage helps the other people at the show that are there trying to sell things to pay their bills too. Even though this is my side hustle and I could go and just enjoy watching all of my stuff disappear for half the price, I don't want to do that to all the other people out there. And it's honestly like, it is time I put in and it's effort and it's wear and tear on my hands and it's the use of my yarn and stuff. So I'm just trying to be fair in that sense. Anyway, Dippy the Dino's pattern, the sploots that I was talking about come from Shannon at Snuggle Beans Crochet. And then I sold the one dolly that I made, which is my pattern. I only took 1. I sold all 5 of them at Hobnob. And I was like, it's on my list to remake because I wanted to take at least 1 to this market, and I did sell it. And I even upcharged it a little bit more because I felt like it took me a little longer than I maybe originally had estimated. Or, I mean, I just went back and made the pattern again, and I was watching TV too, but I felt like maybe I needed to all the rounds and all of the yarn that got used. I went from 25 to 28 on that one. And it sold. Someone just came up and picked it up and said, I need this. Some guy with a beard. And I was like, okay. So he bought my Dolly the Dachshund that I did have, which was like a chocolate tan color. Some surprise. I sold the last 4 sitting birds that I had. So if you were around here last winter, I was shooting out sitting birds packs, patterns. There was 3 to 4 in a pack, and there were different types of birds, kind of with the same-ish body style, but with wings, and some of them had tail feathers, and there was seagulls and pelicans and cardinals and mallards and chickens. And anyway, there was different packs of them, which they're still on my Etsy. But I made them all through the winter, and I felt like I had a whole bunch of them. And I took them to my spring and summer shows, and I felt like maybe I sold like 2. Like I had 20 of them, and I sold maybe 2 or 3. And so I still felt like I had tons of these same birds. So I wasn't remaking them or talking about them because I had tons. Well, I went to Hobnob the last market, and I sold all of them but 4. I came home with the cardinal, a pelican, a seagull, and the cockatiel. That's the 4 I came home with, which I had more than 1 cardinal, so I had sold a cardinal, but I came home with a cardinal, a cockatiel, a seagull, and a pelican, which the pelican's one of my favorites because he's got the bill that you literally can stick something in if you wanted. I sold all 4 of those at the show. I mean, like, I put them on the bottom shelf in a little basket together because, I mean, they're still cute, but was not some big, huge display that I had in the springs. I was putting them all together on this big shelf and, like, kind of making a big deal out of them because I had so many. Didn't get much attention. This time I just kind of placed them down at the bottom and they were there. I sold them for $18, and I sold all 4 of them. So I have no sitting birds left. So that was kind of a surprise. And then I sold only 5 of the swinging animals. Hobnob, I took 25 plus maybe swings, and I sold all but 2. I think in my video I said all but 1, but I did find another one in my inventory. So I sold all but 2 swinging birds at Hobnob, like 20 plus, 23, 24 swinging animals. They're all different types of animals. They're not birds. And so I only had 2 to come to this show. So I spent a lot of time making swings. I want to say I made, let's see, I made at least 8. I want to say that I made more, like 12. But anyway, I only sold 5, which isn't bad, and I'm not complaining because 5 is great. I sell them for $12 a piece. I know I sold the chef hat one, so it's a La Bou, I don't know what the name is. Anyway, I'll have all the patterns linked that I talked about down in the descriptions that I can remember to add, and if I forget one, comment. But it's the chef hat little duck, and I decided to put it on a swing. I sold the little Critterlings chicken from Poggy's Place with the little dangly legs, which I thought was just adorable sitting on the swing because its little legs are just hanging over. I sold a koala, an octopus, which is all from Jade's Free Octopus, but I just put it on a swing. So that's 4 of them, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was a chicken. And well, actually it was a rooster. I know it was a rooster, and it was Poggy's Place pattern too, and it was a tan color. So those are the 5 that I did not have that many loaf cats to sell on the rack. The adoption certificates were talked about a little, but not near as much as they were at Hobnob. Like, I mean, people were just enamored with them, taking them left and right. This show, I mean, some people took them, but they weren't near as big of a deal, and that may have been because we didn't have as many smaller things in that price, in the smaller price range, or I'm not sure. You saw in the videos that I made 2 loaf cats, and this was Annie Carraway's mini kitten. So it's their smallest kitten, but I chain out the tail so I don't have to make a separate tail, and I put hand painted safety eyes on it, and I sell them for $14 now. If you watched Hobnob, I started at 12, and then I realized I was making them and putting them out at that show too, and I thought I can get more for these. Plus they've got hand painted safety eyes on them. They should be more than 12. So I marked them up to 14, and they still sell really well. The really pretty specialty eyes on them. And I made 1 orange one, and I did a little clip of how long it took. It took less than an hour for it to leave. And then I showed you a clip of a little pastel kitty, and I put it out at like 11:35, I think, to follow up on that. It did not sell. It got picked up literally the minute after we set it on the shelf. Like, Tara turned around and we heard someone pick it up, and we're like, She was trying to convince her parents to buy it for her, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's going to sell already. And it didn't. And then 2 or 3 other little girls came by and picked that thing up and really wanted it, and either decided on something else or didn't buy anything at all. So I did come home with the one little pastel kitty that I made while I was there. And that's the only 2 things I made while I was there. Great market. My total, that's what you're really probably here for, is how much I sold. So this is just my total of what I sold, and I sold a total of $991. That's my total gross sales, and the booth fee again was $70. We did have a lot of Square transactions this time. Usually this show is way more cash. I think it's because we sell so much to the band kids and other young adults, and they just don't carry cash on them. But we did do over $500 in Square. So some of that's Tara's, obviously, but that was kind of surprising that usually we don't have that much in Square. Anyway, that is my total, $991. I did go ahead and sign up for next year. And then what I did ask for, which I don't know if I'll get it, they put down the considerations for it. I did ask for another booth next year. So I said, I'd like to go back to my spot where I've always been, but not have a crocheter next to me. And I said, and if I can, I'd love to have that spot on the end. So I have a 16 by 10 foot space, or it's a 20 by 8. I'm not sure if it's 8 deep or 10 wide. And then we'd be on that end. We'll see what the new year brings. I'm going to try with the new baby here and Tara focusing more on safety eyes and stuff, that maybe we just focus on 3-4 shows next year that are big. And then I have my stuff in a couple stores now. I've, the antique mall here and in the bakery has a retail spot in the front, and it's doing pretty well. So I did make, the very first month they were open, I made $240 in the bakery in a month. Maybe I can focus more on keeping both of those places better stocked and better advertised. I did not do an official inventory before this show started, but based on what I thought I took to Hobnob and what I sold at Hobnob in November, I think I had around $1,200 to $1,300. So over the last 4 weeks, I've made like $1,200 worth of inventory. This week, I made only 179. I have a little video, and I'm going to play it right now while I talk about it, but I made a Mitzi the Mouse, which is a new sploot that for me from Shannon at Snuggle Beans. I made a sunflower turtle from Happy Turtle Crochet, which came home with me. I made the 4 snakes that you see in the video. I sold 3 out of the 4. I made 2 Pen the Pigs, which is not in the video, but I will show you a picture of. Those are from the Crochet Carpenter. I made them without the thing, the finger tube, and I sold 1 of those. And then I made 2 Fonzies, which is April, the Cozy Buckeyes new deer pattern. And I had 1 that was pink, that was a doe. And then I had a brown one with antlers that was 18, and I sold the doe for 16. And I sold both of those. I think I went with $2,300 worth of inventory, but that's all I made this week. I worked on the baby blanket I'm working on for the grandbaby. And if you have been here for a little bit, you may have heard me talking about Animal Crossing before. That's my comfort video game. I play a lot more in the winter. And there actually came out with a new update. So I am getting back into there. I restarted an island, and I am just spending a little bit of time doing that, giving my hand a break. That's kind of what I've been doing this week and trying not to stress myself out. So it's been fun. I say the word so a bajillion times, and I am sorry about that. Okay. Someone commented a couple weeks ago that, do you realize how many times you say the word or you say I'm like, sorry. Okay. I am not going to edit every single one of those out. April, I think, does that with her videos. It takes her time, but I just don't. I don't have time or the desire to edit out every that I say. Okay, so I had about $2,300 worth of inventory. I sold $900, which means I am now back to about $1,300, $1,400 worth of inventory. I do have sorry. Now I'm going to be very aware of every time I say it. I do have a deer that I made, the splitting deer for Shannon, that if it had sold, I was going to have to remake, but it didn't sell. So I have that. And then I have a custom order to make for a Groot for somebody. And so I have that to make. And I believe that's all I have right now. So if you are a viewer and you've seen anything in my videos that was left that you would like to have for Christmas, I will ship them, but you'll be charged shipping. Obviously, I would set up a private listing on my Etsy shop for you to check out, and then let it calculate shipping to you based on the weight. So let me know if that is something that you're interested in. I do have a pattern test for for April that I did. You saw the deer. It released last Friday. It is so cute and it's pretty fast. The antlers are made in a neat way. That definitely is, it is not hard, but you're working in small tubes sometimes but it's not sewn on. So it's a unique method, and deer is big around here, so I didn't think I'd have a hard time selling it, and they did both sell. So I did that pattern test for April, and I did the pugs the week before. Okay, let's get to my holiday plans. So baby's coming. I got a baby blanket to finish. I have a pattern test out right now for an elephant, a squirrel, and a frog for fancy pants. So we will be working on finalizing that pattern and getting that out to you. It should be out this Thursday, and it will be on sale Thursday through Monday next weekend. So in my video next week, you will see it'll be released then and on sale. But if you want to catch it on the actual release date, it should be Thursday if all goes well this week. So I'm working on that. Outside of that, I do have one more pattern I may or may not try to finalize and tweak a little bit and get out kind of over the holidays. But outside of that, I'm just going to make whatever I feel like making. I have, I may sit down and just make safety eyes a day or two. I have 2 baby blankets actually started, so I may or may not try to finish the second one. I do have, Christmas stuff going on. Last year we were going through some stuff last year as a family, and I really stepped back a little bit and took a week or 2 off, I can't remember, and then just kind of showed you everything I made over the holidays in one video because it wasn't as much, and we had so much going on. So I don't know for sure if you will see a video every week or not, but hopefully you will. Hopefully I'll get enough done in enough time to do some things. So okay, I'm going to insert a couple dashes of Dolly, little videos of my fur baby, our little dachshund, for your pleasure again if you want to view those. And that is all I have for you guys this week. So if you have any questions or comments, or I'm missing links that you wanted to see to anything that you saw in the video, just put them down below. I love to hear and talk to you guys, and down in the comments. I do hope you have a great week. Also, let me know what you're working on, especially if you found the new pattern that you are absolutely obsessed with right now. Like, feel free to drop it down below. I'm always looking for something new to make and new to inspire me. I like to just have all kinds of random variation in my booth. I'm not a huge batch maker, so I like to keep myself creatively inspired. Feel free to drop that down too. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you guys for being here. I will talk to you all later. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you. Have a great week. Happy crocheting. Bye. Eat up? You want up? Come here. You like it down here? Yeah, it's blowing out warm air, isn't it? Yeah. Lay down. It's okay, you can lay down.